welcome to my channel. Today for you all, as you've seen in the title, I am going to be reviewing the new Urban Decay All Nighter Liquid Foundation. So it's not brand new because I believe it did launch mid-July, but it is like their new fall collection. It is a part of their new fall collection. They launched a bunch of new products, this being one of them. So the packaging is actually really cool. I appreciate the packaging a lot. It's really sturdy. It comes with a pump, which I was super happy about. I really like it when foundations come with a pump and you don't have to buy one or just pour it onto your hand or onto something. It's a lot easier when it comes with a pump. So I appreciate that. It retails for $40 US both online and in stores. You can find it at Ulta, at Sephora, and at urbandecaycosmetics.com. And it comes in a 1 ounce bottle, so that's pretty standard for foundations. It comes in 24 different shades. I grabbed the shade 5. Now the way that the shading works with these is that their 0.0s tend to have more of a yellow undertone and their 0.5s have more of a pink undertone. I'm a big fan of their Naked Skin foundation, which is why I wanted to try this out. However, in the Naked Skin foundation, I am a 6.0. I found that it doesn't work for this foundation at all. It oxidizes, so I went a shade lighter, meaning that I would have to get the 5.0. So the claims on this foundation is that it is a completely matte formula. It has 3 times the pigment as the Naked Skin foundation, so a little bit goes a long way. It is waterproof, it is paraben-free, it is oil-free, so I would assume that this foundation would be perfect if you have oily skin. It claims to be long-lasting, but it doesn't state directly on the website. I looked everywhere. I didn't find anywhere that it's stated exactly how long or they claim that it's going to stay on for, but it does claim to be long lasting, and you can wear it also as an everyday if you wish. So that is what I am working with today. So now that I've covered the basics, let's go ahead and get started in applying some of this onto the face. I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to color correct my dark circles, and then I will be right back in order to apply the foundation. Okay, so aside from it stating that a little goes a long way, it doesn't really have any other kind of tips in order to apply the foundation. So it does state that 1 pump should do it. So that is exactly what I'm going to be working with, is just the 1 pump. So that would be that'd be great if I could just do my whole face with 1 pump. Usually, like when I do like my Milani 2-in-1, that's been like my go-to foundation lately. I have to do 1.5. But we'll see exactly what kind of coverage I get with just the 1 pump. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply it just like I would any other foundation, which is first with my finger and then blend it out with my damp beauty blender. It does state that there should be no need to layer it up or reapply or anything like that. So far I really like the way that it is applying. I like the way that it feels because it does feel pretty lightweight for the amount of coverage that I am getting. I do have a lot of freckles that I have here on my nose, and those usually will pop up like midday, not even. So they are pretty covered at this point. And then I just have to get my forehead. And you know what? The 1 pump I think was truly enough. I like to bring my foundation down a little bit onto my neck. So that is the only reason that I would see using a little bit more than just the 1 pump. But I seem to have had enough with just the 1 pump, and I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so initial thoughts, I like it. It's nice. The coverage is really nice. It is good coverage for the amount of product that I used, which was not much. I mean, I just used and worked with the 1 pump, and I got a lot of coverage, especially around this area. If you saw my last foundation review with the Hourglass stick, you know that the one thing that I look for when I am going full coverage in foundations is whether or not you can see the little veins that I have here along the bottom side of my cheeks, and I don't see them at all. I'll show you guys a close-up to see if you can spot any. I can't spot any. And also my nose has a lot of freckles. I mean, it covered up most of the freckles, but I can still see some of them. But then again, I wasn't expecting for it to be just completely gone because they are pretty pigmented spots that I have on my nose. So other than that, I mean, it feels pretty light. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a heavy duty foundation or a really cakey feeling foundation. That's not what I get out of this at all. but we'll see exactly how it wears throughout the day. I'm going to zoom you all in so that you can take a look at the cheek area, see, like I said, if you guys can see anything. I don't. And yeah. Okay, so typically I would start to see, or I could see, especially with like sheer foundations or medium coverage foundations, I can still see some of the veins that I have going on here, but I don't see them right now, so, and I don't see them on this side either. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and I will be right back. Okay, so now I am back with a full face of makeup, and I like it so far. So far, I like the way that it's wearing. I like the way that it applied. I like the fact that I only had to use the one pump, and I got pretty good coverage out of just that one pump. It does set pretty matte, and it does not feel heavy or cakey on my face whatsoever. I did add some highlight onto the cheek area, so that's the dewiness that you're seeing there. I usually add some highlight onto the ridge of my nose, but I skipped out on that because I wanted to see whether or not I did get like glossy along my T-zone. Sometimes I do. I have pretty like normal combination skin, especially living here with all the humidity. Sometimes I do get a little bit dewy. So I'm curious to see exactly how this performs in this kind of an environment because I am going to be running errands and I'm going to be out and about, so we'll see how it performs with all of that. It is currently 11:39, so I will try to do a midday check-in around 4 or 4:30 for you all to see. So yeah, I'll see you all in a little bit. Okay, so now I am back for a midday check-in. It is currently 4:28. So I've had this on for what, roughly like 5 hours, I think. And I must say, like, it's performing pretty well. I'm still pretty matte. I don't see myself being shiny or too excessively shiny here along the T-zone, but then again, I'm not oily, so there's that to take into consideration. But I don't feel like shiny. The foundation doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't look cakey. It's performing, in my opinion, pretty well. I still don't see any of like my little lines or my little veins that I have going on here along the cheek area. I mean, I do see a little bit of redness around the nose, but that is to be expected. I'm constantly like, you know, doing this number, and just my nose is always getting touched from me picking up my child or, you know, just doing random things that I do on a regular basis. So I didn't expect for that to hold up pretty well, or to hold up, period. But other than that, the foundation, in my opinion, still looks pretty good. I'll give you guys a close-up so that you can see that I don't have anything showing through the foundation still along the cheek area. Okay, so as you can see, there's really not a whole lot showing here at all. And there's really not a whole lot, if anything, showing here at all either. Okay, so that is all I have for a midday check-in. I will see you all here in a few hours for my final end of day check-in. Okay, so now I am back for a final check-in. It is currently 7:15, so I've worn this for roughly a good 8 hours, and my opinion really hasn't changed a whole lot from the midday check-in. It's still feeling fine on the face. I don't feel like it's cakey or heavy or anything like that. I also feel like the coverage along the cheek area is still holding up. Usually if foundations are going to wear off for me throughout the day, that is where I will see them, is around the cheek area and around the nose area, like I mentioned before, but that's more so me just kind of rubbing and wiping at my nose throughout the day. Aside from that, as far as it staying matte, I think that it has. I think that it's held up pretty nicely, especially with all the humidity that we've got going on outside. It's held up really nicely. I don't see myself feeling or looking oily or glowy or anything like that, at least not excessively. So it has held up as far as staying, you know, pretty matte throughout the day. I don't really have any major complaints. I guess the only thing, if I was going to complain about something, is like it is creasing just a tiny bit here along my laugh lines, and then also around like my 11. Like I can definitely see like my frown lines right here a little bit, but I'm full of expressions throughout the day. So now I'm just going to show you all a close-up so that you see exactly what it looks like after roughly 8 hours of wear. So as you can see, there's not really a whole lot that's peeking through there, and there's not really a whole lot that's peeking through here either. So in conclusion, would I recommend this foundation? I I would say yeah. I mean, if you're looking for something that's going to be long lasting and that is going to be pretty matte or really matte once you put it on, and if you want full coverage, yes, it's a really good foundation. It is full coverage and it doesn't take a whole lot to get there. I've seen kind of mixed reviews on it. So some people really like it and some people really hate it. I would say try it out for yourself. Get a sample from a Sephora or an Ulta and try it out for yourself before you decide to make the big purchase of the $40 bottle. I'm glad I made the purchase. I definitely see myself using this foundation. Try it out for yourself and let me know what your thoughts are on the foundation. So that is all for today's product review. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found it somewhat helpful at least. As always, take care and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.